Hello, Susan. I feel the need to share something with you based on ethics, based in this idea that I don't want you opening up your black book and introducing me to people in your network without knowing who I am. So, real briefly, I'll keep this short. Back 17 years ago, I was told by some people in the CIA that 9/11 was an inside job, and I didn't believe them. And they pointed me in the direction to research. At the time, I knew nothing about compartmentalization. I had no idea that 100 years ago, J.P. Morgan had commissioned a group of people to study the most influential newspapers of the day, and then him and his investor friends bought all of those newspapers. I had no idea that 1984, the thought police and the memory hole were already in progress. And I had sold my company. I had tons of time, and I studied every day for sometimes 12 hours a day from a place of skepticism, what I was told. And what I've learned, and this is what I'd like to share with you, is that this whole thing is a lie. His story was written by the winner, and it's a lie. The royalty, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the people who created allopathic medicine and said homeopathic medicine didn't work, the people who made cannabis illegal, they are all connected, and their only job in life is to control the mind of the asset of the slave. None are more hopelessly enslaved than those who falsely believe they are free, my friend. We are slaves. We are working in a slave system. The first time I heard that, I got kind of agitated. I said, I can do anything I want. Oh, really? Can you work and not pay a large percentage of the value of your labor, of your productivity? Or do you have to, by the threat of force and violence, give up some of that value? The whole system of taxation and all of it is theft, and it is propped up by force and violence. Now you might say, yeah, but that's just the way it has to be, because we've been led to believe that anarchy, which simply means no ruler, is chaos in the streets. What we have right now is chaos in the streets. The military-industrial complex, big pharma, and all of the investments that BlackRock, with our willingness, invests in are the poisons and the poison producers that are destroying our world. I'll lay out some facts that you can research, and it will take some willingness, and you will go through some periods of cognitive dissonance. William Sr. was the head of and board member on Planned Parenthood back, 50 years, 60 years ago. Planned Parenthood, which kills, I heard 50 million babies a year. It's not because he cares about the health and reproductivity of the family and of women. It's because him and Margaret Sanger are known eugenicists. Margaret Sanger, I believe, was a Nazi. You can look her up. You can look this information up. Might be hard to find on Google. You can still find it. So we've got Bill Gates Sr., who is openly into eugenics. And his son agrees with him on all of this. Now, I'm going to share with you a bunch of different things. For instance, this Apple, this phone I have in my hand has an apple with a bite out of it. The first computers were sold for $666.66. I am not a religious person. I'm spiritual, and I'm aware of what's going on, and I'm excited to learn if I'm wrong, because that elevates me to a new level of awareness. Therefore, I can get better at providing the solutions, which we have, which we absolutely are catalyzing a shift that will lead to mass adoption of peace on earth in the Garden of Eden. So Bill Gates, he took out a patent through Microsoft in 2018. It's called 2020-666. And it's about human bodily activity and cryptocurrency. That's the matrix. It's turning us into batteries, somehow harvesting our energy and turning it into cryptocurrency. At the same time, approximately a couple years later, the Trace bill was put up in Congress, tracing, reaching, and contacting everyone. The number in that bill, you guessed it, 6666. So now you have the technology for the mark of the beast as written in the book of Revelation. And you have the law to enforce the technology for the mark of the beast. And the knowledge of good and evil is sitting in our hand on this apple with a bite out of it. There's something going on. Now, it could be, and I know you're probably going, holy shit, this guy's crazy. It could be an intentional divide and conquer strategy where the psychopaths simply want fear in society because fear is controllable. Scarcity is controllable. Abundance is not. Love is not controllable. Or there's some real good and evil shit going on. I don't pretend to know the answers to everything, but I know for certain. And this is something that you will not see if you watch the mainstream media. If you do, you are programmed, my friend. If you listen to the mainstream media, then those programs are in your mind, of course. What you believe may be a lie. So just ask yourself that. Does it make sense that True Green lawn care, which is one of the biggest killers in our world today, glyphosate in general, does it make sense that these companies are owned by the biggest investment firm in the world and funded, which is in partnership with BlackRock, or the largest, the oldest investment firms in the world? Hey, kiddo. And BlackRock, which is not only the name, but the intention of the entity that is subsidizing, controlling government, and through a computer named Aladdin is investing in the entities that are destroying our world. Hey, Sophie. My friend, we've been lied to. At first, it just sounds crazy. A new idea is usually just ignored, and then it's ridiculed, and then it's violently opposed, and then it's taken as obvious fact. What's going on right now, the poisons and the poison producers are and have always been in control. The Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, and the families that were the presidents and kings and queens and czars of the world, their one job in life is to control the mind of the slave. None are more hopelessly enslaved, my friend, than those who falsely believe they are free and even advocate and sometimes even fight to the death on behalf of their slave master. So I want to share this with you. I think you're fantastic. I think you're amazing. Right now, you're probably just thinking I'm crazy, but it would be unethical for me not to share with you my perspective and some of these things I know for a fact, and you can check them all out. And this is the tip of the iceberg. If you want to learn more, I'm here, and I will be happy to share with you irrefutable facts that you can look up that will make you go, oh my God, there is a connection here. The solution to all of the world's biggest problems. What Victor Hugo was referring to when he said, there's one thing stronger than all of the armies of the world, and that is an idea whose time has come. The idea is enlightenment, which is the opposite of governmente, which happens to mean mind control. The idea is a mind free of programming of the slave master. When we have mass adoption of a free and clear mind, when we start using our resources wisely, when we start loving and serving each other, we don't need government. Government is the cause of all of the world's biggest problems. The subsidies, the background deals, the corporatocracy, and you know this to be true. So I'm inviting you to talk with me anytime. We can get into it and argue with me if you want. Or anyway, whatever you may do from here, que sera, sera. Big hug, my friend.